A drought is a prolonged period of abnormally low rainfall, leading to a shortage of water in the environment. It is a slow-moving disaster, often unnoticed at first, but its impact is far-reaching. It affects everything from crops and livestock to rivers, lakes, and even the very air we breathe. In the summer of 2024, Athens, Ohio, a town known for its lush landscapes and agricultural heart, found itself in the grips of such a drought. The relentless heat came early and stayed late, and the rain, which usually brings life to the area, simply never came. This was not an ordinary summer. As the temperatures climbed, Athens, nestled in the heart of the Appalachian foothills, found itself facing a crisis. By June, the familiar sights of Athens, the rolling hills, the babbling creeks, and the fertile farmland, began to wither under the intense heat. The land, once rich and vibrant, cracked and dried, struggling to survive. Farmers, who depended on consistent rainfall to sustain their crops, were hit the hardest. Crops that once thrived in the fertile soil of the region were now on the brink. Cornfields, a symbol of summer's bounty, would usually stand tall and green, began to wilt under the unyielding sun. Crop farmers looked out over their fields, helpless as their livelihoods hung in the balance. Some fields, once full of promise, became dust bowls, vulnerable to the scorching heat and dry air.
One of the big things that the drought has done is cut our profits out of the whole equation for 2024, and has forced farmers to locate funds and other means, whether in emergency loans or their own personal loans, or unfortunately is selling equipment to pay for bills that's going to be outstanding going into the 2025 season.
The drought didn't affect just farmers. It began to take a toll on the entire town. The Hocking River, which has long served as an attraction for Athens, receded to levels not seen in generations. Local streams, once filled with water, began to dry up. A small community campground in the heart of Albany, Ohio, is home to Lake Snowdon. This beloved lake, once full of life, was facing record-low water levels, impacting the water quality and tourism. Water that was once abundant had now become scarce. For farmers, the drought was a grim reality. Without consistent rainfall, the land remained dry, and the toll on the agricultural community was severe. The economic consequences rippled through the town. Businesses and people that relied on the region's produce felt the impact, and farmers faced an uncertain future. On August 27th, Athens, Ohio was declared a D4 exceptional drought. This marks the first time Athens County has reached D4 status since before the 2000s. In the face of such adversity, Athens showed resilience. Local farmers coordinated efforts to get relief funds and support.
A few local farmers and myself were contacted by a local soil and water board member to try to help put together basically a town hall meeting with the director of ag with the state of Ohio to see if we could get funding and help in southeastern Ohio with drought relief. We did meet with him. We had a long discussion, and there was a lot of stuff talked about that wasn't happening in the rest of the state. A lot of it was focused on southeastern Ohio.
Even with the support, small family farms still struggled to build back up. Cattle farmers in Athens were crushed with unimaginable issues, ones that no farmer should ever have to deal with.
All of us got first cutting hay, no second cutting hay, so a major lack of hay. Pastures drying up super fast, and not a lot of help.
Since we had to use some of our grain crops to feed, to turn into animal feed, it just made less income from the grain farming. And then there was a shorter crop because of the drought too, and the prices were lower last year because the rest of the country had a good harvest.
The drought made things tighter for farmers, but not impossible. They were able to make it through, but it was truly a challenge. After weeks of waiting, rain began to fall in late September. However, the several days of rain that occurred was not enough to make up for the lack of rain throughout the summer. Athens was over half below the average rainfall of about 19 inches between the months of May through August. Unfortunately, with the lack of precipitation, Athens had to go from drought to frost. You will hear a lot of farmers talk about the drought of 1988 being bad, but the drought of 2024 will forever be remembered as a turning point for Athens, Ohio. A reminder of the unpredictable nature of our climate and how vulnerable we are to changes in the environment. But it will also be remembered for the strength of the community that refused to falter in the face of the crisis. The drought tested Athens, but it also proved that in times of hardship, people can come together. Farmers, families, neighbors, each playing a vital role in ensuring the survival of their community. And so, as Athens moves forward from drought to frost, it carries with it not just the scars of a drought, but the lessons learned about resilience, resourcefulness, and the enduring spirit of a town that will weather whatever comes next together.